afternoon. It is Thursday, September 25th. I am Bruce Leonard, and this is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today. Last time I checked, there's a lot going on, as you probably know. There's always a lot going on. The UN, he's still going on about the UN. His people stepped on the off button of the escalator and shut it down, and his people are running the teleprompter, and yet still he wants an investigation into this matter. Somebody's trying to make him look bad. Hey, Julia. It's a fucking clown show at proportions. Oh, and I don't know if you know about this, but they did it. They're going to give Argentina $20 billion. Right? Couldn't afford Medicare, couldn't afford food stamps for people, couldn't afford all these things, and they cut all this stuff in the bill, and all the Doge cuts, couldn't afford, half of the government, which, I don't know if you know this too, they're hiring back a bunch of people that they fired during Doge because they've come to realize that they need them. But anyway, no matter how much money they save to the Doge, $20 billion to Argentina. Because that's America first. What's up, Costello? America first. You're on the Twitch, so I suppose it's still working. Which is good. I wanted to say, like I was saying last time that we were on the show, the haters are coming out now. That's the YouTube comments. Starting to get some haters in there, which means that finally the show's getting some traction. None of them have came yet and watched live and participate in the discussion, which I do encourage. If you're a hater and you're watching this show, come on, live. I'm on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm on live, so you can talk to me. So, yes, give them something to hate. Apparently I have. It's like... Yes, Julia. Soybean farmers have been decimated because China's not buying the soybeans, so they're broke now. And yes, he's going to bail them out again, which he did in his first term as well, because he he doesn't know what he's doing. Yes, John. Haters are cowards. Usually they are. And I said, and most of the time, I was telling you that the other day, like they come on and they try to do the circular bullshit thing that the right wingers do, which is like give you some open-ended question and then pretend like you don't have an answer to their open-ended question, and then therefore you don't have any debate skills and you suck. And most of the premise of their entire philosophy, as I've said on this show a million times, is complete bullshit. So, and like today, the White House puts a White House Facebook page. I don't know why, but all these White House Facebook pages keep popping up in my feed, and cabinet members randomly. But he says, new polls out. 57% approve of Donald Trump. And of course, they don't say what this poll is. It's just a picture of Trump. It says 57%. They're like, what? Where did you get this poll? Like, it's like, yeah, exactly, lying. Like, they lie constantly, all the time. Like what when they keep saying we got $17 trillion of investment coming into the United States. Like that's longer. I mean, that's larger than the GDP of China. It's not. It's not even possible. I don't know what. This is the problem. Okay, there was a shooting, an ICE facility in Dallas. I don't know if you know this, but if you don't, there was a shooting yesterday. Somebody started firing at the ICE facility, right? And then immediately, it wasn't even 5 minutes or 10 minutes after, J.D. Vance is out there, left wing this and then left wing that, and then Trump's out there, left wing this and left wing that, and Kash Patel's like, look, we found the bullets. It says anti-ICE written on it. Now, could this be true? That his bullet had anti-ICE written on it? Yes, it could be true. I mean, who knows? People that are shooting up the place are obviously crazy. So there's no parameters of the things they would do or wouldn't do. But here's the problem. When you lie so much about everything, how do you tell the truth to people? And them to accept it at face value, because you have no credibility. You have no fucking... you have no... I said credibility. There's none. These people have proven that they will lie about absolutely anything. So therefore, why would you take anything that they said at face value? How long has it been since the Charlie Kirk's murder? They have not been able to prove still that this guy is connected to any left-wing organizations, because he probably isn't. But that doesn't stop them from running around saying that. And now I just read a thing that said that the Department of Justice is about to go after George Soros. The boogeyman, George Soros. He's been the boogeyman of the right wing for the last 25 years. Here's what I want to know. They keep talking about hateful rhetoric, right? And how this hateful rhetoric from the left has caused violence. Aren't these the same people who for 30 years said that Hillary Clinton killed people, and there's a hit list of people that have died, 127 people, and that the Democrats are demons that drink blood of babies in the basements of pizza parlors, and all kinds of crazy shit. And then they have the nerve to say that if you call them authoritarians or fascists, that you are the one who's hateful rhetoric. Remember when Trump said he'd like to see Liz Cheney in front of a firing squad? Remember that? He said that. It's on tape. He was like, I wonder what she would do with her rifles and guns are pointed at her, It's the left that talks violent. Really? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that there aren't people out there that say things. There are. I'm not one of those people. I want to make that perfectly clear. I've never, ever one time on this show advocated violence against anybody for any reason. What I try to do is examine the things that have happened and try to figure out why they've happened. Has nothing to do with encouraging people to be violent. I've said it hundreds of times. We need to avoid violence. That's why I advocate secession. Like, if people really want to have a civil war, we should just split the country. There's no need to fight and kill each other over it. Like, we could just do it. You have what do you call it? A congressional convention or whatever, and draw up the plan and split it. There's no need for violence, people killing each other. Of course, it'll never happen like that, because that would mean people have to sit down at a table together and talk, and that's something that we don't do in this country anymore. Here's another thing that's happened. I don't know if you know this. That woman won her seat in Arizona, and now Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie have the votes necessary, 218 votes, to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files on the floor of the House. Well, The Republicans are tripping. They're talking about not swearing this woman in, or, like that. There's an air of desperation to it that I find fascinating. Why are they trying so hard to hide the Epstein file? What's in the Epstein file that's so bad that they can't show it to you? I wonder. I thought that everybody wanted to get to the bottom of this situation, and I've said it millions of times. I don't care if there's Democrats involved in it. I don't care who's involved in it. What I want to know is who's involved in it, so we can clear these people out. But I've come to realize that I think that it's much more deeper than people realize. That the people that are in these files are some of the most richest, powerful people on earth. And the whole system, not only here in other countries. You've seen other countries have had casualties already from the Epstein files. Some woman, the Duchess of York, just lost her job as a spokesman for somebody, because there was some flattering letter in the thing, in the files that have been released. These emails that Bloomberg got a hold of. And a UK ambassador was fired, and now the Duchess of York. But I'm saying this is just scratching the surface. And you look underneath of this all. Like I said, it's some of the most richest, powerful people on earth. And what I think is that they're terrified because this could send shockwaves through systems all over the world. You just start taking out some of the most richest, powerful people, and that leaves vacuums. Vacuums aren't good, They had the MAGA movement has taken control of the Republican Party, and they have it in a death grip. They don't want to give that up. And the sad part about it is, a lot of these people who are involved in this, the MAGA movement, I should say, or not even if they're involved in it, but support it, fund it, tacitly go along with it, or some of these people who are in the files, and they don't want to lose these people. They're important to the movement. The entire movement is in jeopardy. And that is why they're freaking out. That's my belief. Now, I'm not saying that that's a fact. I don't have any, fucking earth-shattering information to give to you. It's just my supposition from watching this, because you have to ask yourself, why are they so terrified of it? After years and years of... See, this is what I don't get either. They had to have known this. Why would they have used it as a political tool if they knew that it was dangerous? It's like if you were Superman and you were fucking around with kryptonite, on purpose. Because you thought that it could advance your agenda somehow. And that you never occurred to the idea that this could backfire on you spectacularly. Right, Julia says, once they're exposed en masse, the people will see them for what they really are, and they'll no longer be rich and powerful, and they know it. Well, they should be in fucking prison. Really. That's why I always say it's not a partisan issue. It shouldn't be at all. If you are against releasing the Epstein files, there's a reason. There's a reason. There's something that you want to hide from people. It's the only reason. Because, like I said, saving children from sex trafficking should be a nonpartisan issue. Should be something we can agree on. And that tells you also how poisoned our political system has become. That, like Daniele said on the show when he was last on, that if someone came up with a cure for cancer today, there's people that wouldn't accept it because they didn't like the people it came from. You know, the Maha people and all those people who are against the science, science and the medical establishment, who believe it's all a cabal of, of pharmaceutical companies that want to kill you. I never understood why people think that pharmaceutical companies would want to kill you when they make money off of giving people medicine. It's like, the more likely scenario is that they would want to keep you alive so that you would keep paying for this medicine, because that's how they fucking make money. If you're dead, you're worthless to them. So why would they want to kill a bunch of people? It doesn't make any sense. It's like most of these conspiracy theories. When you drill down into it, it doesn't make any sense. Ken says now they're redacting the list. Yeah, exactly. Well, I believe that there's somebody somewhere who has copies of these files. Like somebody. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. That's one of the reasons why they fired Comey's daughter, because she was the lead prosecutor on the Epstein case. No, Julia, I did not. Julia says, did you thank Danielle for me? She enjoyed his thirst trap food porn video. Yes, exactly. Danielle was cooking with his shirt off. I don't know if you noticed, I said, but as well as being a history professor and a podcaster and a writer and all the other things that he is, philosopher, he's also a martial artist and a physical fitness enthusiast. Rich says Bill Gates wants to eliminate most of us. So yeah, right. People have always said that. Same thing. Like, why do people think that Bill Gates wants to kill everybody? I don't understand. Because again, how does Bill Gates make money? By selling Windows and Microsoft. If there's less people have computers, there's less money. It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's because he put a bunch of money into vaccines and research. Yeah. He's trying to help people. Oh, you can't have that. That's why I think it's hilarious that they're going to try to go after George Soros for what? For funding left-wing, causes? Well, what is mega? A right-wing cause that these billionaires fund and pour money into every single day? We want to investigate them? Because it's just everything that Trump says. It's like they said. It's like Goebbels said it a long time ago. He said, "What you do is you accuse your enemy of that which you do. Therefore, it takes suspicion off of you and puts it on them." It's like every time that Trump says, "Oh, they're doing this because they want to go after their political opponents," it's just because he wants to go after his political opponents. He literally said it a few days ago. He told Pam Bondi, you need to indict James Comey and Adam Schiff and all these people that he has a grudge on list, the people that he wants gone, or people that he wants to be harassed, or I don't know if you heard about this. Remember when he raided John Bolton's home? This is where things start to get, because I never liked John Bolton. Nobody liked John Bolton. John Bolton, they used to say he was a fascist, but John Bolton's not a fascist, but he's definitely a heavy right wing. You used to think maybe he was a fascist, but when you see that he's against the actual fascism that's going on, you realize there's a line for people. See, these people have lost the line of they're still Americans. And the reason why is because, like I've been telling you on this show for a while, it's just like we're bailing out Argentina for $20 billion. Why do you think that is? And I'll tell you why I think it is. It's because the right-wingers in the world have built a network. There's Orban in Hungary. There's the guy in Turkey. Now they got a guy in Argentina, and they want to keep him there. Even though his ideas are so fucking stupid that they crash the fucking economy. They got to keep him there because he's part of the right-wing network that they have around the world to push these right-wing ideas. So they've lost the fact that everybody's an American. And now it's all ideologically driven teams. And it's worldwide. So it doesn't matter how many people in this country don't want them to be in charge. They need to be in charge so they can keep this network together. And I think Trump's finally starting to realize that it doesn't matter that he shares ideologically the same ideas as Vladimir Putin and wants to change the government of America into something more like what happens in these other countries. He is finally realizing that doesn't matter. That I believe it to be the case that Vladimir Putin he used Donald Trump to further, his agenda, and he thought that Donald Trump, which he's been correct so far, wouldn't do anything to stop him, and he hasn't. He talked a lot, but he hasn't really done anything. He rolled out a red carpet for the motherfucker. That's real scary, isn't it? And now he realizes that he's not, yes, John, he knew he was a bitch, exactly. Spineless coward, I said. Whose idea of strength is blowing up, small boats up the coast of Venezuela. Proving flexing some American power by blowing up a speedboat off the coast of Venezuela with 11 random, and who the fuck knows they are people that are in there. It doesn't matter. That's right. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so I didn't get to the point. So John Bolton, they raided his house, right? Because he criticized Trump, and Trump doesn't like that. They said, "Oh, he's got classified documents in his house," and it was on, it was on TV. They're walking out with boxes and shit, and computers, and they're, like, "Oh, he's hoarding all this stuff." Well, it was a court hearing. Turns out he did have some classified documents, but they were decades old and had been declassified by George W. Bush. So just like I said before, they're incompetent. And they're only interested in harassing their enemies. And they want, like now they said they're going to indict James Comey, even though everybody says there's no evidence that he did anything wrong. They're going to say, he lied to Congress. Like, about what? My guess is that he's going to try to say that the 2020 election was really stolen, and when he told Congress that it wasn't, he's lying. Yes, Julia, that's a good observation. Julia says they're not going to let Trump fully join the dictator club unless he can successfully eliminate the elections and stay in power. Right now, they know there's a chance that he could be voted out. Yeah, that's true. There's not even a chance. According to the Constitution, he can't even run again for a third term. But they're already bringing that up again. Do you realize that they're talking about a man who will be getting close to 90 years old? Let's say he does these 3 more years and he runs again. Guy's going to be, like 90 years old. By the time it's all over, you think he can fucking lift this? He's already got swollen cankles and his hands are all black and blue and he's falling apart. Yes, John, but he would always be their bitch. Yes, he would. And he just wants to be part of the club. Queso said he's probably half a robot or some nonsense. Right? Nanobots keeping him alive. He does have all the tech people with him. Yes, Al, this is not America. It is not. It is not. Not the one I grew up in. It's unbelievable. And J.D. Vance, I've never seen a person. I've never seen a more soulless shitbag than J.D. Vance. He does whatever they tell him to do. Says whatever they tell him to say. He's out there fucking, and he's not afraid to lie at any second of any day about anything. Like I said, they were already out there. Oh, this is left wing this, left wing that. And this is 5 minutes after the shooting. They cannot possibly know what this is. Same as the Charlie Kirk thing. Oh, look, got another Twitch bot. Pelosi 777. Cheap followers. I told you, I'm not buying followers unless they're forced to watch this show. Live. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying is, like, after the Charlie Kirk thing, they're like, he's a leftist this, he's leftist that, he's leftist, right? And then they still can't prove that that he's connected to any left-wing organizations. They can't prove it because it's probably not true. The guy's a fucking dark web furry guy, or I don't know what the fuck what do they call it? Goimer? That's I was learning about it, but it's too fucking. I was reading about this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Gamers, people playing video games. It's like, dude, what the fuck is this? I mean, I know there's a subculture of people that this is what they do, but like 4chan, Reddit, and video games. I'm like, this is the problem, No one's getting blown or, getting laid. It's like they're all fucking. They kept saying that he had a relationship with his roommate. It's like, well, if you ask me, these people probably just start fucking each other because there's no one else for them to fuck. There's nobody wants to listen to. Somebody talk about Call of Duty and what they read on the Reddit, last night. It's like, that's not a really good way to get pussy. Yes, groyper. Groypers and incels and all these fucking things. I've said before, and I mean it, it's 100% true. The internet is one of the worst fucking things that ever happened to people. And I say that while I'm speaking to you on it. But it's awful. It's a brainwash machine. When you turn it on. My dad is a prime example of, he's not being brainwashed by the internet, but he's went down the rabbit hole of guns. Now he's buying all these guns. I told him yesterday, it's like, you went down a rabbit hole. Like, it's anything on the internet can suck you in. Especially if you're like my dad, you're retired and you ain't got nothing to do. You're just sitting around. That's what he said. He used to play basketball and shit all the time, and now he can't because he's too old. He can't even hardly walk anymore. I mean, he walks still, but he walks so fucking slow. Yes, Costello, you need to have critical thinking skills, which we don't teach anymore. I don't know if you know this, but if you haven't heard, I'm going to tell you now. The Oklahoma superintendent of school guy that wanted to put Trump Bibles into schools and told everybody that they had to make a turning point, USA chapter at every high school in Oklahoma, and made a test to make sure that teachers weren't woke if they wanted to work in Oklahoma. Well, he's resigned. Because they had a criminal probe against him for showing Pornhub at his meeting or whatever. He did. And other things, a bunch of scandals. And even the Republican Attorney General was of Oklahoma was like, thank God this guy's leaving because he hasn't done anything Except scandals and cause trouble, and guess what? They rank 50th in education. Because he wasn't trying to improve the education of Oklahoma. What he was trying to do was curry favor with Donald Trump and create a, what do you want to say, brainwash machine inside of the Oklahoma school system. It doesn't matter if they're all illiterate and stupid, as long as they get to be, mega and carry around their Trump Bibles. Like, this is the problem, is that we're off the cliff in this country. We've lost sight of what's really important. Yeah, Al, so you can come back to Vegas. It's become a shit show. What, Vegas? What do you mean it's a shit show? Kind of always was. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It wasn't a shit show. It was more like a corporate Vegas. I mean, a corporate Disneyland. Yes, John, indoctrination, not education. That's why I said, the whole time he's doing all this stuff, they're ranked last. They fucking below Mississippi. You gotta work hard to knock Mississippi out of the dumbest state of the union. He's like, we're gonna get there. It's like, instead of improving the system, he's trying to fucking, like I said, that you'd have the Trump Bible in every classroom, and you'd have. Julia says, us Gen Xers didn't know just how good we had it being the last generation without internet and cell phones. No evidence of our shenanigans and less brainwashing. We can think for ourselves. Yeah. I'm lucky, I said. My dad always taught me to think for myself, to not trust authorities, et cetera, et cetera. My dad always told me we lived in a police state, even back then. You're talking about the 1980s, whatever. He said, this is a police state. That whole America is free is bullshit. And it is. Kind of always has been. This is the freest country in the world with more people in prison than anywhere in the world. Including huge dictatorships. Like, we have a lot of people in prison. Remember Charlie Kirk said, there's not enough people in prison. He wanted more. Lock up more people. Meanwhile, you look around and we have all these problems. Locking people up hasn't solved these problems. It hasn't stopped crime. It hasn't stopped drugs. It hasn't stopped anything. All it's done is create yet another capitalist fucking, industry that makes money off of locking people up in prisons. Pokemon fan sites. Yes. It's like that Bo Burnham song where he's like, it was chat rooms and travel blogs and, it was nice things, the internet. And then now it's turned into, like I said, it's like bots. Like, you can no longer, I would recommend that you don't look at the comment threads on anything. Because half of the comments aren't even real people. There's bot armies that comment in these comments. The same thing. If you look around enough, you'll see the same comments word for word across multiple pages. And usually, like I said, it's some propaganda, like dear leader shit, like, President Trump, you are the greatest, But it'd be word for word. It'd be on like the White House Facebook page. It'd be on like Fox News Facebook page. It'd be on like Clay Travis's Facebook pages. And you go there and you look at these pages, and you can tell that these aren't even real people. They're bots. The internet is designed to brainwash you. Now, people who are of above average intelligence, like myself, or you who are probably watching this show, you can see through that, right? You can see that. Like I have, like I said, critical thinking skills. So I start looking around. I say, it's like that thing I was talking about the other day about Charlie. They're doing it to Charlie Kirk's wife. Now, I don't like Charlie Kirk's wife. I've said that. I said that last time. But I don't agree with a bullshit character assassination campaign that's going on all over the internet to make you think that she's some child trafficker or whatever else that they're trying to say about her. Because when you look into this for real, you see there's nothing to it. There's no evidence of any of this. It's all speculation, but even people I know are falling into this trap. I see it. It's like I said, the internet brainwashes people. There are people who try to say that about me, but I'm like, I've been doing the same thing for 10 fucking years. If you've been following me, you can tell me that I'm brainwashed somehow. Like, no, this is me. Like, what you see on the internet is me, like my thoughts, and I've been putting them out there for a long time. I don't hide who I am or what I think. Like, that's the purpose of a comedian or an artist or a social commentator, right? It's to look around you and write about what you see. Or say that what you see, like on this show. But the internet has brainwashed me. Like I said, there's but I see it happening to other people. I do see it. People I know, even, and people I thought were smarter than that this couldn't happen to them, and then you see it happening to them. And when I tried to step in, like I'm the person, I said, I know this person. I saw her post some things, and I was like, and I started looking into it, and I was like, realized this isn't true. So I went on her page, and I go, hey man, I looked into this, and I don't believe it to be true, and I know she's been following me for a long time, so I thought that she would respect my opinion on the matter, because she knows. I said, she's like, me, I'm interested in facts and the truth. I'm not interested in bullshit. And if we start engaging in that kind of bullshit, then we ain't no better than them. There's plenty of real critiques to be made about real things that are real. They're making up some shit. I saw this. I thought this was pretty funny. It said, yeah, you can not just follow. Yeah, you can always block. You can always unfollow. You can always unfriend. But this is, like I said, this is a person I've known for a long time on the internet. A long time. They've been following me for a long time. I thought these people were smarter than to fall for these traps, but it's so sophisticated now. And then TikTok, oh God, TikTok's gonna get worse. You know that, right? It's not gonna get better. They say, oh, this better. We're buying it. Like they're giving it to the mega billionaires. It's going to get worse. Misinformation will become rampant. TikTok is not a place to be looking for news. And that's where all this Kirk stuff is. They're like, oh, it's all over the TikTok. And I go, don't come to me with TikTok. It's a source of information. TikTok is a bunch of people like me talking. And I would never say, oh, come to this show to find out everything about everything. And I just told you, everything I say on this show is my suppositions, my thoughts about my ideas of what I think is going on. I'm not telling you this is a fact. I prefaced my previous statement before with, I don't have any information to prove to you that this is true or not. But it definitely seems suspect, The problem is this. Everybody, from the Attorney General to Kash Patel to the Secretary of the Homeland Security, wherever the fuck the puppy killer girl, like all these people, the Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, that guy Lutnick, who goes around talking about tariffs all the fucking time. These people are nutlickers who will just do and say whatever Donald Trump tells them to do. So these aren't reliable people. You can't count on them. Their boss is the biggest liar on the earth. I've never seen a person lie as much as Donald Trump. He stood in front of the UN and just lied his ass off in front of the whole world. He doesn't care. He's going to say what he thinks, even if it's complete bullshit. Like the 57% thing he put up. This is the White House official page. This is complete bullshit. He's never been at 57% approval in his fucking life. And he'll never get to 57 approval in his fucking life. Ever. It's... You gonna tell me that everything is falling apart like this? 60% of people approve of... Like, I don't even think the most popular presidents that we've had have been above like 57%. And Trump is definitely not that. Somebody said, I don't remember the exact number, but they said that Charlie Kirk's funeral had like 1 million viewers or something like that. And Jimmy Kimmel last night had 6.5 million viewers. That's not counting the YouTube numbers. And you're telling me that these people are a majority? They're not. They're not a majority. It's a myth. They've never been a majority. Period. The problem is they're good at, like I said, dividing, fracturing. The left is fractured. They go for those fractures and they split them, you know. I seen a bunch of people on the internet saying, if Kamala Harris would have just said something about Gaza, that they would have voted for her. But she never did, so they didn't. Which is ridiculous because look at what happened to them now. You know, do you think that the Gazans are better off with Trump as president, or they would have been better off with Kamala Harris as president now? I can't say what she would have done, but I don't believe that they would have let it got this far. They would have put Netanyahu back on the leash. Netanyahu's been off the leash now for so long, he's all out of his fucking mind. He said that he's going to retaliate against these countries that said that they'll recognize the Palestinian state. Some of these countries are our allies. It's insane. He bombed Qatar to try to kill the Hamas people. With no, he didn't tell them. He just fucking flew planes into their airspace and dropped bombs inside their country. That's insane. All of the rules and norms of international relations are gone under Trump. We're blowing up random people off the coast of Venezuela in international waters with no legal justification whatsoever, except that Donald Trump says, these are drug dealers. Then do they provide evidence of this? No. They haven't had one single briefing to provide evidence of how they proved that these people are drug dealers before they blew them out of the fucking water. It's a reality TV show. It's a projection of strength. When in reality, I mean, that's what he thinks it is, but in reality, it's a projection of weakness. Trump wants absolute power, be able to say whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and have people jump and do it. That's what he wants. He's a supreme narcissist. You know. Now, and there's systems and agencies in place to prevent that. There's layers of shit to prevent the president from being so all-powerful that he just does shit like this. That's why he cleaned out the government of anybody who had ever worked in the government. Yeah. It says, did you say Lutnick or Nutlick? Yeah, exactly. Howard Nutlick. I'm sorry. Lutnick. See, here's the thing about these people, too, the haters or whatever. They want to come and watch my show after I've done it and then leave hateful, you know, or not hateful, but leave, you know, pithy comments in the comments. And like I said, why don't they come on the show? I would invite one to come on. You want to have a Charlie Kirk style debate, you know, like I'd bring a right winger on the show to talk about it. You know, I'm not afraid to. What I don't like is, like I said, they try to engage you in this circular bullshit, and then talk you in circles and then pretend like you don't have any answers to their fucking questions. And the truth is, when you answer their questions, they just blow right by it. They don't want to hear the answer. Because that's the truth is, it's not a debate. They're trying to coerce you into thinking the way they do. It's not an exchange of ideas in any way. It's a tactic that they've developed on the internet. And like I said, Kirk used it in real life. They talk in circles, they interrupt, they bully, and then they say, you don't know what you're talking about here, but and they use copious amounts of bullshit. This guy, I'll give you an example. J.D. Vance made a speech, right, where he said, it wasn't a speech, it was an interview, but anyway, in the interview he said, oh, well, like the Americans, we got to the moon, like we figured out the moon. I was Americans that did that, and therefore, it's like we don't need other people, blah, 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 blah. Do you know anything about the history of this country? Most of the space program were fucking Nazis, real Nazis, that they brought over from Germany after World War II, right? 1,600 of them. These aren't American citizens. Yes, Julie says it's called the Gish Gallop. Yes, exactly. It's a technique where it's a bullshit technique, really. Where same thing. Like the last questions, I've said that before. When he was killed, the last words out of his mouth was complete bullshit. Like kids asked him a question. How many trans shooters have there been? Does he answer the question? No. He says, too many. That's an open-ended bullshit answer. It's not a real answer. It's an ideological answer. It's the answer you want to hear. Just like if you asked him, how many trans people play sports in this country? Too many. Well, too many is not a real answer. How many? The real answer is 5. 5. But if he says 5, you'd realize that his entire argument is fucking ridiculous straw man bullshit. So he can't say that. So he gets an applause, he says an applause line. Then they say, how many mass shootings were there? With or without gang violence? See, he didn't answer the question. Because he's a pro-gun guy, he can't give the real answer. There's been like 42,000 of them or some shit. Because it's a ridiculous number. It proves that what you're advocating doesn't work. But doesn't stop them, That's what I'm saying. It's just like this guy in Argentina. 6 months in May, there's tweets of Elon Musk in May encouraging people. I encourage you to invest in Argentina. Well, how'd that work out for you? You listen. And again, people still think, oh, Elon Musk is so smart. You listen to everything he says. Well, everything he says usually causes ruination on whoever he fucking tells him to. If you put all your money in Argentina, you're fucking broke now. And that's what he told you to do. See, he could do that because he has $100 trillion or whatever, and he can fucking blow as much money as he wants. He could fuck off and lose half the market value of Tesla, which he did, by trying to get involved in politics. And he's still rich. But if you're a person who's just listening to Elon Musk and thinking to yourself, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. I think I'll take my 401k and put it into Argentina. Well, you're fucking broke now. It's like, how'd that work out for you? He's a super genius. Remember this at all times. It's like, it's crazy how, and that's what I was talking about before is like with the bots and and all this stuff. Like the internet is complicated and it's a brainwash machine. And if you're not mentally equipped enough to deal with it, you get sucked down into it. And then they go, how do these people get radicalized? It's like, dude, you're a machine. It's your machine. You're the ones that are pumping all this shit into it. You think that Trump doesn't know that there's hundreds of bots commenting on the White House Facebook page? He knows that. That's why he puts his bullshit posts. Don't you? It's so easy. That's what I'm saying. If you're not a dumbass, it's so easy to see through it. You set up a White House Facebook page, right? They post bullshit, and underneath that post are hundreds of comments that make it appear that there are millions of people who agree with this bullshit. And what happens? People that want to agree with it, they start agreeing with it. It's recruiting. It's brainwashing. There's no other word for it. You have to use brainwash to believe in ideas that don't work. Like I said, that he said, invest your money in Argentina, and then they were saying, look at what he's done in Argentina. His libertarian economic ideas are so good. We should do that here in America, And now we're bailing him out. Which I find extraordinary, that people in this country, like I said, if this was France, we'd be on fire right now. Fuck you! There would be flames everywhere. People in yellow vests. And, you think that the French would take the French government, cut their health care, and then giving $20 billion to some other fucking country? You think they'd take that shit? No. No, they wouldn't. They burned down the Eiffel Tower over a 50-cent bus fare raise. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This country is filled with weak pussies, spineless bitches, who just let this go on. Julia says, it blows my mind as I'm a fucking high school dropout and I can see the bullshit that college educated people are falling for. Yeah. Well, that's because college isn't really... That's one thing that Charlie Kirk probably had right. It's like, college is... In college, they teach you, like I said, they teach you how to bootleg. The whole system is designed. I mean, you think about that today. What does the system teach you to do? Obey. Follow. Go along. Take orders. Kiss asses. And then the more asses that you kiss, the more subservient you are to your leaders and the cause, the more they throw you crumbs and let you feel like, oh, I'm being successful. I'm moving up the corporate ladder. Why? Because you kissed that guy's ass. The boss today, I swear to God, the boss today, we won some awards, right? They had like corporate awards for the stores, like best store manager, best regional manager, best, whatever. And our store won an award for being one of the best stores in the country in our chain. And actually, the two stores in this market won a bunch of awards for being good because we outsell the other stores. We have better customer service scores. I mean, we just have good stores. That's because, like I said, I left for 6 years, 7 years, came back, went back to work. Half the people that work there are the same people. They have good employees, So the only thing that's changing is the management and the ownership of the company. But the people that work in the store, they've been there for years. So we have good relationships with our customers because we have a lot of return customers. So people go there and they feel like home. I've been shopping there for years, So we regularly get good response scores from our customers for that reason. But anyway, here's the point. Our regional manager, district manager, whatever you want to call him, because two of our stores that are in his district won these awards, he won best district manager or whatever. And I swear to God, in our morning meeting this morning, the store manager said, if you have his number, text him, congratulate him. What? He's like, yes, we encourage you to kiss his ass, lick his balls. It's like, because that's what this system does. It teaches you to be that. And I could never participate because I have dignity. What they want you to do is shelve your dignity and grovel. And then, like I said, if you grovel enough, they'll say, here, let's help you up to the first step on the ladder. And, oh, don't you feel successful? It's a game. You need to play the game. And that's what college does mostly, is teaches you how to play that game. And you might learn some stuff while you're there. But, I mean, really, if you know a bunch of people, you know a lot of people that got college degrees, and you're like, this person's dumb as shit. I know people that went to big college. Like, J.D. Vance went to Yale. Right? Was it Yale? Yeah, no, it wasn't Princeton. He went to Yale. Hegseth went to Princeton. Okay, Hegseth, the drunk, went to Princeton. J.D. Vance went to Yale. You hear them talk, and you're like, these people are fucking stupid. They don't know anything about anything. They're nutlickers. That's all they are. The only reason they're in their position is because they're willing to morph. They have no beliefs. Well, I mean, their belief is to believe in Donald Trump as the savior of the world. But I'm saying, before that, J.D. Vance pretended like he had his own beliefs. And they weren't that. Which proves that he's a person who will say and do anything to advance his own self. Right? Which means he has no moral center or a core of beliefs. His belief is himself. Like Donald Trump. Same thing. I see why they get along. Like, once they got past their differences, it's like, hey, they're very similar. J.D. Vance will lie his ass off. J.D. Vance will do anything to advance himself, to get himself money and power. And he'll say and do anything. J.D. Vance is also, a person who believes. And now, I got to be careful how I say this because, again, I'm not really interested in character assassination or throwing gas around, but these people believe in the old system, the old America, which was rich white people running this country, and they still believe in that, and that's what they're trying to save, really, because they think that it's in danger, which is why they say, the immigration is the biggest thing, and blah, 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 why they want to deport a bunch of people, because, yes, John. John said, I think the phrase you're looking for is soulless fuck. Yes, exactly. I like to call them hollow meat bags of shit with nothing, no real moral center or core to them. Like they're only interested in advancing their own power and their own agendas. And, most of their agenda is, like I said, trying to say, what do you think make America great again means? It's a glorious vision of a past that they see as glorious, where they had their boots on everybody's necks and they were in charge of everything. And that's what they want to bring back. That's what the MAGA thing is all about. I've never been able to figure out why Trump hates Europe so much. Yeah, Christelle said, don't forget to take your Tylenol. Yeah, don't take Tylenol. You get the fucking... you get the autism. I'm going to tell you this, you got to admire this person. Tom McDonald? He's already put out a song. I'm always like... how the fuck this guy could write a song in like 5 minutes? Like, something happens, and like 30 seconds later, Tom McDonald has a song and a video. It's like, you're like, how the fuck did he already has a song called Tism Tablets or some shit. It's like, it took him 2 days to write a shitty rap song about. It's like he just watches the news and it goes, oh yeah, there, right there. Who, Tom McDonald? He's real. He had Roseanne Barr on a song. You didn't see that? It's not satire. I mean, it seems like satire, but no, it's real. See, that's another thing that they don't get, is most of people who are MAGA and people that are fascists, right? They're dumb, weak people, most of them. That's why they want fascism. They need a strong leader to make them feel safe and to, make them feel like that they're part of something, and it's a grift. It's easy to extract money from these people. It's easy to manipulate these people. So there's a machine that does that. Well, Tom McDonald is just another guy who was like, oh, well, I think, well, these people are they'll fucking buy into anything. So he's like, oh, what I'll do is create this persona where I make rap music that's subtly sending messages to people about, right-wing shit. And he became huge and famous on YouTube and made a lot of money by doing this. But really, it's a grift. He might say, oh, I believe all this stuff. Is like, come on, man, you're doing this to make money. Don't pretend like... I'm not making any money, right? I'm sitting down here doing this. You know why? Because I believe in it. No one's sending me a check to do this. I'm doing it myself on my own time because I believe in what I'm doing. Now, if it gets to a point where I'm making money off of it, that's good. But I was doing it when I wasn't making money. John says that he knew those people who thought Tom McDonald was kidding. Yeah, no, he ain't kidding. He's totally... So I thought what, like comedy? You thought he was comedy? That's like, he's not deep enough to do comedy. It's a grift. So you don't get MAGA itself. Turning Point is a grift. Do you realize this? I didn't know this. I just found this out. They charged money for people to go to Charlie Kirk's funeral. And then when you were in there, they were selling merch. It's a money-making machine. People just keep giving them money. It's a grift. It's the most powerful of grifts. You take people's emotions and shit. That's the most powerful thing ever. You get them all riled up, and then you go, oh, give us your wallet. They go, yeah. It's like... Give us your wallet. You'll save the world. They go, well, fuck, take mine first. It's like... It's a grift. It's like snake oil salesmen. That's what they are. Modern day snake oil salesmen. They're telling you they got the cure for all your problems. All you got to do is bow down and give them all your money. And listen to everything they say. And they'll save you from the evil trans people and the gay people and all the other things that are the immigrants and the things that are ruining your life. When exactly what's ruining your life is sitting around ingesting this poison that they're selling you. And not living your own life. Period. The internet is not a life. Now, I've been guilty of it myself. I'm not going to lie. I got sucked into it some. That's how I got banned for life. Like, I moved to Charlotte. I didn't know anybody. I was in my house. And so what did? I just fuck with the alt-right all day. That's all I did. It became like my favorite hobby. Was to troll the fuck out of the alt-right. And at the time, it was working. I was gaining a big following on the internet. I was becoming kind of famous on Facebook. Everybody knew who I was. I could go to any groups of people from all over the country. They knew who I was. Because that's how much I was on the internet. It's not healthy. Now I post a lot, but I'm not like doom scrolling, like I'm not down in the troll hole. I share. I have a good feed that feeds me information because I've worked the algorithm to, except for now when they start throwing in, there's more and more mega shit popping up randomly, and that's because they. Yes, John, and that's true. There's also lots of people I have that I have lots of friends that I only know on the internet. And I've known them for so long, I consider them my friends. That's why I said it's disturbing to me when I see people falling into these traps. People have changed because the brainwash machine works. Whether you think it's working on you or not, it is. It's working. I see it. There are people who have changed, who are different than when I knew them originally, you know. And most of them are falling more and more, like I said, they're going more and more towards extreme leftism. Which, that's what I'm saying, is there's no alternative to the places that we're headed except for more extremism. The more the MAGA gets extreme, the more there'll be more extreme leftists to counter that. And then they say, oh, the problem is the leftists. You know, it's like, well, really, you caused this problem by going all extreme in the first place. Extremism breeds extremism. Violence breeds violence. These are the same people who stormed the Capitol. Had the nerve to come out on TV today and say, oh, these attacks on our law enforcement are unacceptable, blah, 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 blah. And then people on the internet, all over the internet, yeah, this is unacceptable. You respect the police, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, except the Capitol Police, right? The ones you stomped on and spit on and almost killed some of them, you know. And when the guy speaks out, I forget that cop's name who almost got killed, now he speaks out against Trump and them. And they say, oh, he's political, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, you almost killed the guy. What do you think he's going to do? Fanone, is that his name? Michael Fanone, he was the Capitol policeman. He got stomped on and whatever, and now he's a political commentator on Substack and shit. But they're like, oh, and then the Proud Boys are like, you're a fucking asshole. It's like, dude, you tried to kill him. What the fuck do you think? It's going to happen to a guy. He's going to be driven to left-wing extremism, I said. And that's the other thing, is like, just because, like, I'm sure there are people out there who would try to paint me as a left-wing extremist, you know, it's like, I'm not advocating extreme anything. I'm just a guy who's speaking from the left perspective. And giving my observations of what I think is going on and what's happening. But I don't sit here and call for people to fucking take up arms and do shit. It's like, that's the farthest thing you should do. Because people don't get that either. See, this is another thing that people don't get, is there are people out there who are anarchists. And this is a wonderful time for them. Real anarchists that want to, like the Joker, you know, that want to see the world burn. And they don't give a shit. I'm about to leave too. They don't care. They want chaos. They want it. So if you commit an act of violence, what happens? Trump starts talking, and then the left starts talking, and you're creating chaos. And they're just sitting back and enjoying it. Or, you know, they go, well, I'm going to kill myself. Well, on the way out, I'm going to do something that causes fucking, you know, chaos. And that's what they did. They want to cause chaos. So the violence doesn't really help anybody. And it's beyond it being horrible. And like I said, we've lost our humanity. We need to figure out a way to get our humanity back. And find the things that we have in common, which are much more than the things that divide us. And they use these things to create this. I don't know how we do it. I don't, like I said, because the machines are so, they're revved up. They're running at full speed now, redlining. And how you stop it, I don't know. I wish I knew. You know, I'm gonna go and help Thomas Massey. I feel like that's a good step. You know, I'm gonna go and meet a bunch of people who are mostly conservatives and figure out a way to talk to them. Maybe someone will start watching this show. Maybe. Who knows? Either way. My last show, I said I did not cut. I did not advertise it in any way. And it's already up to over 50, close to 100 views, and there's comments and things. So there's people are watching this show now. I don't know, you know, and again, not huge numbers yet, but it's growing. So maybe it will turn into something. But you guys guys have been here with me from the beginning. I love you for it. I am Bruce Leonard. I'm going to get out of here, obviously. I'll be back on Saturday. Hopefully Danielle will come back. He had a meeting last Saturday, which is why he didn't do it. But hopefully he'll be free. He'll be back on Saturday. I'll be back Saturday at 6 o'clock. I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. Wow, it's still legal. Go out and enjoy yourself. I'm going to go watch a football game. You know I love me some football. So please, thank you for joining me. And good night. Go enjoy your life. Do something.